Hi there. The purpose of this video today is to run through the example from page 7 of our notes document. So the example in page 7 states that we are looking at a burning candle. It starts off 9 inches long. Susanna is recording the height of the candle in inches every hour it is burning, and here's the data that she got. After zero amount of time has passed, no hours of burning, it is still 9 inches tall. After 1 hour, we've lost 2 inches. It's now 7 inches tall. After 2 hours, the height is 5 inches. After 3 hours, the height is 3 inches. And after 4 hours, the height is 1 inch. So we are going to have our calculator create an equation for this data for us. Here is the procedure for this. So odds are when you turn your calculator on, you're either going to be just in the calculator where you can do stuff like 6 plus 2, or you're going to be in a document. So the easiest way to access this list and spreadsheet thing, I think, is to just go home to this area. You can either click New and add your list and spreadsheet from here. Otherwise, you can go down to the bottom and use this middle icon. It's like teal grids to add your list and spreadsheet this way. So either of these two ways works. We should get something that looks like this if we navigated to the correct area. So what we're going to want to do once we get to this area is we are going to want to start off by naming our lists. So our first list, I am going to name hours. In order to name this, I have to navigate all the way up to where the letter A is, and then I can use my keyboard down low to start typing in HOURS. And we can hit enter. So now we've named the first column. We also need to go name the second column. So I will navigate up to where the letter B is, and I will name the second column height. H-E-I-G-H-T. Oops. Sorry, it didn't type. H-E-I-G-H-T. It's still not typing. Strange. That's okay. I guess my computer keyboard isn't going to cooperate. We can still do it down here. G-H-T. Okay, hit enter. So now that we've got our names, we are going to enter in our data. We are going to enter the hours 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 into the hours column. We're actually going to skip the row that has the equal sign next to it, and we're going to start typing into the row that has the 1 next to it. So I'll type in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to go do the same thing in the next column with the heights of my candle. Again, I'm skipping a row, so I'm not writing, or I'm not typing directly below the word height. I'm going into this column, or this row that has the number 1 next to it. And I'm starting with 9, then 7, then 5, then 3, then 1. So once we have our data in our calculator, we can have our calculator do two things. The very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to have our calculator create the scatter plot for us. So we're going to have it make the line. We can do this by hitting our control button, then our dock button, choosing option number 5, data and statistics. So I'm hitting control, I'm hitting dock, I'm going to go down to add data and statistics, hit enter. And now it's got my dots sort of scattered on the screen. However, these are not in any particular order yet. What we want to do is we want to choose our axes and make it organize it for us in a specific way. So our x-axis, that's always the one on the bottom of the screen. That's where we want to put those hours. So I can scroll down here, click this, label it with hours. Notice my data has already moved. So then I want to do the same thing for the other axis, the y-axis. Click on it and select height for this data. Now it has put my dots in a line. Notice, which we haven't really talked about this yet, this line has what's called a negative correlation, because as we move to the right on our graph, our dots are going down. So they are trending in the negative direction. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to have this create a line of best fit for this data. So since I have all these points plotted, here's the line that I can connect these dots with. So we are going to go back up to our first tab here, the tab that we were just putting our data in. Mine is 1.1. Yours might have a different number, so it should just be right before the one you were just working in. And we are going to have our calculator create the line of best fit, aka the regression equation. To do this, we have to go into our menu, scroll down to option 4, statistics, click the first option, stat calculation, and then have it run a linear regression, option number 3. Notice option number 4 also says linear regression, but we want our linear regressions in y equals mx plus b form. The other version of linear regression will give you the same data, just not in the same order. So if I choose option 3, I'm also going to have to go in and choose what data I want it to use. So for our X list, So for our X list, we have to revisit what was up here in our X box. That was our number of hours. So we can put hours in the first box. For our Y list in our calculator, we are just going to put our Y data. Our Y data was the height of the candle. After we have those two items put in our calculator, we actually don't need to do anything else. We can just scroll down and click OK. Then it should populate our regression information in the very next line. So notice that my screen looks exactly the same as this one down here. So we can identify a few things. We can see that this has given us our linear regression in mx plus b form, where our m value is -2, so that will go right here. And our b value is 9. So when we're inputting this in our own equation, we'll just put the m value here, -2, and the b value up here at the end. So that's how we got the equation y equals -2x plus 9. So one thing that you can't see on this screen right now that we want to go look at is called our correlation coefficient. So we have this value r squared. Again, my calculator looks exactly the same. If we just scroll down to underneath r squared, we are going to see the r value. The r value for this equation is -1, and we'll talk about why the r value is important later.